Today we're here to talk about the upcoming parent-teacher conferences. So Dr. Webb, tell us a little bit about the parent-teacher conference process.
I'd be glad to do that. Each fall, we set aside a day and some evening times for parents to be able to come in and meet with teachers in all of our Bangor schools. This is a great opportunity for parents to sit with teachers and to learn about the progress that their students are making.
Now, how do parents access the conference times?
Well, there's a variety of ways that can be accomplished. You certainly can call the school to set up an appointment. For the high school, we also have a web access in order to schedule times. And then you certainly could even just come that day and be able to meet with teachers.
If a parent hasn't been able to access the school or hasn't had the frequentness of showing up to school, the comfort level in which they would approach the school, to what degree is that significant for them?
Well, and I certainly understand that sometimes coming in and meeting with teachers, it might feel like it's intimidating, but I can assure all parents that really the teachers want the opportunity to meet you. Our teachers are committed to our students, and to have that time to be able to share how the student is doing. You know, every student has strengths. Every student has areas that they need to continue to work on. And for a teacher to be able to share their progress with parents is a source of pride for teachers. And it's every single student that they want to share the good news as well as the things that we need to continue to work on.
Mm-hmm. And for parents out there that have kids in multiple schools, the degree of difficulty for them to have conference times varies. So how would a parent in that situation be able to access multiple schools within those days?
That is a challenge, and you know, we're so fortunate in Bangor to have neighborhood schools because the research is clear that students feel more connected to their neighborhood school and often perform at higher levels. It's interesting because across the country, systems are going back to neighborhood schools, but it creates a challenge when you're trying to get around to all the different schools for your conferences. What I would recommend is try to schedule utilizing those times, and if you're having difficulty, make sure to call the school, either talk with the secretary in the main office or the principal, and we can adjust accordingly.
Mm-hmm. And specifically to the high school students, a lot of them will have multiple teachers. So is it going to be an issue for a parent to be able to reach out to, say, 4 or 5 teachers within a given time on those days?
I think that parents should really try to prioritize which teachers they want to speak to first, make sure to take the time to schedule those. But we have had a great success in also being able to allow them to meet with 4 or 5 teachers throughout the time that we've allocated. And if there's somebody that you're not able to squeeze in, we can meet the next week or the week after that. That's always an opportunity.
And if we drop it down a level into the 6-8 level between William S. Cohen and James F. Dowdy schools, those conferences seem to be a little bit set up differently than the other schools. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Absolutely. Those, because again, there are multiple teachers, and we are prioritizing student-led conferences where the students have the opportunity to share with parents and their teachers the progress that they've made and their goals of where they're going to continue to work. It is set up so that the middle school teachers are there the full amount of time, and that you're able to go right to either a table where all the teachers for that student can sit down with you, or you can go into individual rooms with teachers. So it literally is a drop-in type of schedule, and I think it works extremely well.
That's excellent. Speaking to the conference times that will happen at the K3 level or K5 level, a little bit different than the high school, a little bit different than the middle school. The elementary process, how does it look?
Well, really it is a schedule where you have time to meet with a teacher. Each teacher is preparing for the parent-teacher conferences, so they will be able to share more. Certainly the report cards are a great source of information for parents about their child's progress, but there's so much more that can be shared around where their skill has progressed, whether they've had great progress in the last month or whether they're kind of inching along. And so they will be able to get very specific, share work samples, talk about goals and what will be coming in the curriculum in the next quarter. As one could imagine, each quarter the work becomes more complex. And so it would be important for parents to know what are some of those things that the children will be learning and facing for the next level of complexity. And so if you have, for example, a second grade teacher, you will meet right with that teacher, learn about language arts, learn about mathematics, the writing process, science and social studies unit. So you're going to have that time that'll be dedicated right with that teacher.
Excellent. When a parent, some parents have had this experience for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
Some parents are brand new, first time they're going to a parent-teacher conference. From the Bangor School Department's perspective, what's the goal of this conference?
The goal of the conference is to really make sure that the people that have the greatest impact on student achievement are on the same page about what are the strengths and what are the areas that they need to continue to grow in. And so I know that sometimes parents have said to me, you know, I read the report card, my child does well, I really don't need to go. I would politely disagree with that. I think it's always important to go. And to prepare for a parent-teacher conference, I would recommend a couple of things. Write down any questions that you have as a parent. If your child is old enough, sit down and talk with your child and ask them, what should I know before I meet your teacher, and talk about your progress as a student. Do you have any questions as a student that I should ask of the teacher? And probably most importantly, it sends a message to that student, both from the parent side and from the teacher side, how important their education is to all of us.
Great. Last question. Is it too late to get into a parent-teacher conference today?
It is never too late. You can come the day of conferences and we will find a way that you can talk with teachers. I certainly would recommend that you call ahead if possible, because that allows for less time to be standing in line and to wait, and we really try to make sure that there isn't a lot of standing around time. But certainly if your life is anything like mine can be and very busy, it's okay to drop in. We will make sure that you have an opportunity to speak with teachers.